and I know it has been 3 days, very hard 3 days, I know. You're going to do this with me, okay? Everyone? When I say breathe, you are going to apply, okay? So 1, 2, 3. You are focused now. Very good. So my name is Mariela. I'm 24 years old. My name is Carla, and she's 28 years old. So I think we're still young. The other thing is that, well, we're both Mexican. We work in an organization called Techo. So I want to explain a little bit. I don't want to be like boring, long, and blah, blah, blah. I want just to show you the idea of what we do, and I want to show you some pictures. If you go here, I will want you to, so you guys can start coming here. Just coming and coming. I just want you guys to see the picture. Just come here, everyone. Stand up, you're walking, start reading. Just watching the pictures, please. Go there. As you can see, there's like a lot of pictures there. There are like some people there, like volunteers, people from the community. Okay? This is just for you guys to do. Like looking at all the pictures, you can go and sit down. So the people from the back can go there and see the pictures.
Sure. Like an old
Nice. Okay. So I'm going to do like 1, 2, 3, 4 questions, okay? Who is from Panama? Nice, okay. Who's from Mexico? Nice. Who is from the US? Nice. Okay, sort of. That's good. Who is from Republican Dominican? Yeah. Sort of? Okay, nice. Who is coming today? Honduras? Honduras! Nice. Tegucigalpa, right? What else? Nicaragua. Colombia. Okay. Techo is in all of those countries. So that's the thing. We are a Latin American movement, so we don't like poverty, but exactly we hate extreme poverty. Why do you think we hate extreme poverty? Just your opinion.
Well, because it's like the worst kind of poverty and people don't live with like less than $1.
Exactly.
And no person should have to live in that condition.
There's no justice. No justice. That's a good one, right?
It takes opportunities away.
Takes opportunity away. So those are correct. Okay. The thing with extreme poverty is that we think as the cheddar, that's how we call each other, that we already have the tools, right? If we see a hurricane, it's a natural disaster. And we have the tools, right? When something happened like Katrina in the US, everyone was running, and we actually have like a lot of actions going on to what? To trying to solve the problem, right? But what happened with poverty? Is not poverty a social disaster? Yeah, it is. So where are the tools? Where are the actions? Where is the whole society working for this social disaster? What do you think about that? They're not, right? It's not happening. So another point is that I'm going to explain you just a little story. That's Torres de Guadalupe. And I want to explain you this story because this is the community that the ASFM started with Techo. And that community is a community that has like 450 families, extreme poverty, houses made of garbage, because that's the truth, they are made of garbage, and people who actually, sometimes they have a job, but they don't have social security, the salary, as you were saying, is so bad. At the same time, there's not education. There was a school going on from there. It was like, I think, 2 or 3 kilometers from there. The kids from the community can go to that school, I'm sorry, because the teacher will say, you're from the slum, so I don't want you to come to my school. So in that thing, as you can see, there's a lot of discrimination going on in that community. The first time when we started, it was on 2014, almost, I think 14 to 15. Yeah, it's what's going on. So we took actually 8 students from here, from the ASF, and they were so excited, and they wanted to just go there and see a community. We went there to Torres de Guadalupe, And it was amazing because all of these students, one of them is here. What we can do? What is going on? Why is this in my city? I can't believe it. Tell me more. And when we were talking with the people from here, that they're very close friends of mine and Carla, we were saying, you know, these people is seen as illegal in their own country. And I will explain something. When Mexicans go to the U.S. as an immigrant, what happens there?
Deportation.
Deportation. And if they actually stay there, Mexican government will always say, oh my God, the Americans are so mean and they're so bad with our Mexican people over there. What about the human rights? And my answer is, what about the human rights in Mexico? Because they're going because of something, right? So in that thing, it's very funny that one of these persons that live in a community is seen as an illegal citizen inside their own country. It's crazy, right? And if you go to, you are seeing those names, if you go to Brazil, that's the favela. If you come here in Mexico, it's asentamiento irregular. What about Panama? Do you know the name of Panama? Panama? Do you know the name for those? No?
I don't remember.
Okay, if you go to
Why are they illegal?
why they're illegal? That's a good question. Because these people actually, they don't have social security, they don't have a good job, they don't have opportunity, they didn't went to school. And what they have to do is, I don't have money to build a house. I have to go maybe to a mountain, get over there, take a lot of things, materials, as you can see they're garbage, and I'm going to start building my house. So government come and say they're illegal because they're not paying for their land. But how do they supposed to pay for a land if they don't even have social security? Isn't that crazy, right? And at the same time, how do these people is going to go to university one day? These people don't even have the opportunity to go to middle school. Isn't that crazy, right? So this is the moment when we say, it's not because they're illegal, it's because you are not doing your job. And not only government, society too. What happened in Monterrey is that you start going on your car, you start driving. Do you remember the place that we went, the beautiful place, the Huasteca? When was that? Thursday? Thursday, yeah. So we were driving on the bus, we arrived. You saw the houses over there? They're houses. That place is actually an asentamiento informal. People who actually they say, I don't have enough money, I have to go to La Huasteca and start building my own house. Those houses actually, they have to keep building them every 3 weeks because they will fall apart. Every 3 weeks they have to actually think about what I'm going to take from trash and put it as a wall. One blanket start seen as a wall, in a house. So can you imagine that? And they're everywhere. The one in La Huasteca only has like 30 families. This one, 450. If we go to Santa Catarina, they have 2,000 families. I went to Brazil last year, and I actually visited one favela, and they have 4,000 families. And they're everywhere. It's the new face of poverty in Latin America. And you know what is like the worst problem about this? Because they don't pay for the land, because they don't have money for doing it, government says, I don't see taxes, so it's not my responsibility. But how do they supposed to pay for taxes if they don't even have education? If they don't even have an opportunity to go for a job? Some of these people actually work in companies, some of them, and that's actually pretty amazing. And when they're working on a company, this is people who is cleaning the company, right? And we go there and we were walking, during the company, and we say, oh, I know her because she's always here, and I know she's got a salary. But what happened in Mexico and in Latin America is that these new, cleaning companies, what they do is I will give you $50 for a week cleaning this company. The company is not going to hire you. I'm going to do it. But if you want the job, I'm not going to give you Social Security. So what happens is that people will say, okay, doesn't matter because I really need a job. Can you imagine living here? Monterrey is right now the third city, the most expensive city in Mexico. It's crazy. Can you imagine living with $50 in a week? Just the transportation from that community coming here, it will take them in a week, I think, $30. They're coming here to work for $20 in a week. It's crazy, right? So that's what's going on this kind of community, and I want to explain you a little bit about the work, and I think it's an amazing work with students of this school, is that they say, okay, What we can do, we don't know. The thing that I'm seeing is actually horrible, but I want to change that, and I have to do it. So they start building, how many houses, I think?
38.
38, yeah. And what they started is like, I have to go there. I have to actually understand. I have to listen. If you turn a little bit here, you see this picture? Well, there's students like you from this school. They were going there. They didn't have the money to help the people. They were just listening to the families. When you do a poverty study, everything changed on your opinion. Why? Because you start to listening, oh my God, is that for real? They work a lot and that's the only salary they get? What about Social Security? What about education? But at the same time, they will explain you their projects, what they want to do, their dreams. And believe me, the dreams, they're always so good. They want the kids to go to school. They want a nice house. They actually sometimes want to get a car. They want to have a better salary. They're nice things. No one say I'm going to be a killer next month. No. They're good dreams. So what happened there is that these students start listening. Those are the pictures. And then what happens, okay, I'm going to companies. Me, maybe I'm 17 years old, 16, 18, 15, but I know how to talk about poverty because I already know what's poverty. They were going to the community a lot of times. They were actually going with the neighbors, and I can actually guarantee you they see the people from the community as friends. That's easier when you go to a company, doesn't matter how young you are, and you say, I'm here, not only talking about Techo's work, I'm talking about poverty, but I'm talking about what's going on with one of my friends in one of these communities. It's changed a lot. So these kids were starting to do is like companies start giving them money, okay? Nice, I like your project, you're very good at it. And it's not that because they knew every single information about poverty. It was more because they were explaining their experience in these communities. So they start building houses, as you can see. It was actually pretty cool because young people going there, we were like 250, 300 from this school going and just building houses every week. It was like 4 constructions, right, already?
No.
3, no. This is the third one, yeah. And how many houses have you got there?
38.
38 houses, yeah. I think the first one they started with 1, right? Just 1 house, yeah. And then what happened is that they actually saw something that Techo is, yeah.
When you guys make the houses, what do you make it out of?
What the materials?
Yeah, the materials.
They're made of wood, and it's I don't know how you say in English, but yeah, it's like cement. But the thing is that in Chile, and especially in Panama, they're going to start doing it, is that government is actually working very good with Techo. They're getting an agreement. So the houses, they're going to start being of cement, just only cement. But in Mexico, it's still illegal. So we can't build a cement house. We have to make them of, I don't know, maybe...
Plaster.
Yeah, that's the problem. But in Panama, they're going to start doing it because government is giving the permission.
Doesn't plaster, like, when it goes rain, doesn't plaster deteriorate?
No, actually, they have a special treatment, and it gets like 20 years. That's the last one they have. Yeah, it has 20 years. And well, after that, after building the houses, what they did, that is actually pretty amazing, because building a house is just an excuse, it's the perfect excuse for community development. So then, that's how we get here, okay? This is popular education. That's what Techo does in a community. If you go to this community, we already have 100 kids in school. And you can see some of the teachers, they're students from here. These are students that are going every Saturday just teaching kids. And it's something new, and it's something that is actually very amazing. It's popular education. I'm going to teach you, but at the same time, you're going to teach me. And when we are in this kind of classroom, you will never see lines. There's all the time there's a circle going on in the classroom. So sometimes a kid can go there and can say, I want to teach you this because this is what I do in my community. And then a student from here will go and say, okay, and this is me from Monterrey, and I'm going to teach you this. So that's pretty cool because right now what's going on is that kids are very excited about going there every Saturday. And as you can see, they have like games too. They have like different kind of like experiments and stuff, like making like a little bit funner, right, for the kids. We do like soccer, I don't know, soccer competitions. If you see here too, it's like what's going on with the parents of these kids? Well, we start doing assemblies with them. Okay, what about the projects of the community? So that's when everything starts, right? The parents from the community will say, I don't know, maybe I want to do a bridge. Or maybe I don't have enough money and I want to get a better salary. Okay, so that's when we start with local products. If you were actually here in the conference, you can see that there were some like Mexican candies. Well, those Mexican candies were made in our community. So it's actually pretty amazing because now we have ladies from the community who are doing their candies during the whole week. They're selling the candies, and the money who is coming back to them, they actually, some of them is for the house, and the rest of the money is to invest. And they are going to invest again and again because what they want to do now is they want to buy a truck so they can actually move around the city. So it's amazing, and it only took 8 students who were coming here and say, this is not right and I have to do something. So that's actually how Techo works. What we like to say is that poverty is a very, very, very hard fight. I know it's very, very hard. Can you imagine just in Mexico we have 11.5 million persons living in the same poverty. Around Latin America, we are 650,000 volunteers in Latin America. We're a lot. It's like a Latin American monster. But only in Mexico, we have 11 million. So we need more people. That's the truth. We always need more people. There are a lot of kids who still need to learn more. There's more community. This is only one community. And the thing is, like, if these 8 students that now are 300 from this school didn't take the decision that day of saying, I want to change this because this is not right, maybe these pictures weren't here. This school, the new salaries from the community, the houses, and especially, as you were saying, that is very, very, very amazing, what about the sense of social justice? Now we have constructions where students from here go with their parents, go with their teachers, go with the principal of school, and go with other friends every weekend to the community. So if you're interested about it, I would like to hear questions from you. I'm here for that. Yeah.
En Honduras está como que el grupo está como bien involucrado.
In Honduras, yeah. Well, the thing that's going on about Latin America is especially that for some countries it's harder than other ones. In Mexico, the problem for Techo is the corruption. It's very hard to work because of the corruption. When we go there to a community and we go and build houses, we go and we talk with government about, okay, they're illegal because they don't pay, but what about human rights? What about education? And the thing is that when we go and build houses, they always want money. They will say, okay, I give you the permission if you pay me half of the houses to me. Of course, we will never say yes. That's not possible. We don't work with corruption. But that makes our work harder, as you can see. If you go to Honduras, what I actually know is that the principal conflict that they have is what's going on with las maras, the gangs that are going there. Because when they go to the communities in Honduras, especially in the zone of Tegucigalpa, is that they have a lot of people from the maras, and it's kind of like dangerous for them. So what they do in there is like projects with graffiti, rap, hip hop, and they started to have projects with young people from the gangs. And it's going very good, but that's especially the problem over there. They're working more about projects, but with young people. So that's the problem. But they're very strong. They're going very well. For some countries, it's easier to just raise the money. For some of them, it's hard. I know in Honduras they're having problems with that. But what is actually pretty amazing is that, especially for me, in my opinion, what I have experienced with the students from this school is that everything is possible. I mean, there was a girl actually who raised a house just selling cupcakes. So it's amazing, right? And she did it. So there's other students who were actually sending emails like crazy. They were sending just emails the whole time, and they did it. So it's possible.
What is that new initiative?
Oh, I'm sorry. So it says Techo, but we went on January, we went to a construction in Guerrero that is like an Indian group. So people there speak something that is called Tlapaneco, and it's even hard for me. So that actually that's like their, how do you say it? Dialect, yeah. So they write this, like this sketch of in their dialect. And if you see in the back, that's volunteer.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
How do you find the communities? Like if you want to do something near a school, or how do you find this community?
Actually, what we do is that government already has like their studies, right? They're very good saying where are the poor people. Right? That's the only thing they do. So what we go there is go, okay, give me the information. Sometimes you can find them on the internet, and you start just going, just take a truck, take a car with your volunteers, and start going to the community. We try, actually, the community that they're working right now, the ASFM, it's like maybe half an hour from here, I guess. Yeah, like 25 minutes, 30 minutes. But something that is really important about our work is that when we get to a community, we will explain the whole work to the community. This is what we do. It's not for free, because that's something very important about us. They have to work with us. We are not going there as volunteers and doing everything for them. They have to be on the working tables. They have to be on the projects. They have to take their kids to school. They have to go to the meetings. So as we are volunteers, they are too. So we say, okay, if you want to, we can work together. But if you don't want to, I don't have to come here, okay? So some of the communities are ready for it. Some of the communities will say, okay, I will sign for it. They will actually do like a contract with the community with us. It's actually not legal, it's just like representative. And it will work, but there's some community who will say, you know, I don't want to. But it's not because they actually not looking for development. It's more because there's a lot of different religions going on there, doing everything for free. But there's a lot of people who say, it's okay, I will go and bring toys and money and food. And they're very accustomed to that. So that's like the hard part. And this is happening around Latin America. Assistantialism, I think is how it's called, is the worst thing to work before. It's not right. Taking things for free to a community is not going to solve the poverty. But even the social problems that come from government are very like that, are actually very similar. So that's what we do. They have actually to have a contract with us saying that I'm going to work for the whole year. Yeah.
And how big are the houses?
Depends the country. Right now here, because that's the size of government allows, it will be like cuadrados, 18 metros cuadrados, 18
Square meters.
Square meters, yeah.
O sea, de la puerta a donde
Yeah,
está parada.
I think right here.
Y de aquí a allá.
Yeah.
If you're not from this school,
Like I'm from Monterrey, I'm not from the ASFM. Can you still get involved?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Actually, after the ASFM did it, I'm sorry, the next group we started, it was Colegio San Roberto. And after that, it was Prepas Tech. And after that, now, actually right now we're going after this to a construction with Bachillerato now, with Colegio Irlandés y Colegio Setback. So I have to say, you always will need a brave person to start a whole movement. And that's what was going on here. They started, there was only 8%. There's still a lot of poverty. There are a lot of schools. And there are a lot of people who can actually keep doing this. And it's so cool because what I found out is that now there's a lot of like students just calling us and saying, I want to do the same thing. And actually it's very, very cool because the construction that we're having right now, Saturday and Sunday, there's people from this school and from ASF school. So it's very cool.
So like in our school in Mexico, we're with this company that builds houses, but what you told us is that we need to pay volunteers. Is that like?
Oh no, you have to, there's a lot of things you can do. One of them just be a volunteer, that's all.
You don't have to be.
No. And the other one is like, we have like different divisions during our organization. Like my part, what I do in the organization, I have like volunteers, as you can do. And they say, okay, let's go and try to find money. Let's go. Let's just send email. Let's just try to call everyone I can. And there's another division who will say, I want to work with social projects. Okay, let's plan them with the community. And there's another part who will say, okay, we need the money for it, so they will be working for it.
So if you want to take a group, just like a big group, we don't have to pay for it.
No. You just have to make your group and then start doing like, okay, this is what I want to do.
You have to raise the money to pay the house.
The house is here. But the other thing, we need volunteer the whole time.
There's an office in Mexico City.
Yeah.
And if you wanna have like a club at your school, that would be great.
Yeah, I can give you my information and you can give me your names. And actually, I know in Mexico City, they started with a school called Sagrado Corazon. Yeah, they started over there with those people. And it's going very, 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 very big actually. And actually, especially in Mexico City, they have already like 25 communities with educational programs.
So it's very easy to get like have a club at your school.
Yeah.
And, like, set up instructions.
It's very easy. Yeah, it's very, very easy.
And could you give us like the contact? And
Yeah, of course. And you can send me I mean, you can give me your information and I will send you the.
And how much does every house cost?
In Mexico, we have, it's like 32,000 pesos, it will be like $2,500 each house.
Each house.
See, if you go to Chile, they're doing like, now like 7 houses, they will be like actually more expensive. But in Mexico, we can't do those kind of houses because of the government. So right now, we're just working with these $2,500 houses. So that, and there's a lot of things like, sometimes you can just raise money for a house, but at the same time you can raise money for educational program. At the same time you can, there was actually a school in Guadalajara that they went to see a local product from our community and they needed a special machine to build something out of the product, no? And it was like $10,000. So they were working so hard and they actually got the money for it. So it's very nice because there's a lot of things to do. You can build houses, you can teach, you can actually go further and maybe think about a business, like a social company inside the community. And it's just amazing all the things that you can do in organizations. Yeah. Alguien? There's someone else with a question? Over there. Huh? Someone with a question? What's really important, and I wanted to say this, is that a lot of the time, and I'm talking because of me, because my whole life I was in a private school. I actually lived in Colorado for like my whole high school. And this was not actually, it was not like, I don't know, something that it was on my life, right? I was living with my family, I went to live to Europe, I came back, I was in private school my whole time. And when I actually went to the first community, my step on, right? The first step I put in a community, it was very shocking for me because it was something that it wasn't in my reality. It wasn't. I was, I don't know, I was a girl from a Catholic private school my whole life, and it was very easy for me. It's true. Everything has been very easy. And I remember when I came to Monterrey and someone invited me there. It was shocking for me. It was like, I can't believe these people actually live 20 minutes from my house. I just can't believe it, right? And what happened there is that I want to share this. I studied international relations. My idea was I'm going to be this like ambassador in Mexico, in a country, or I don't know, in Europe or maybe in Asia. And that was my plan. That was my life plan. That was my thing. That was my goal. I knew it wasn't going to be easy for me. My parents will actually pay a very good school in Mexico City after that, and maybe a master's degree in the U.S. But I have to say that this changed my life completely. Completely. You don't have an idea. I was working in companies. I was working with American universities, actually. I was going there and just, having like agreements with like big universities. And then I saw this and I said, I have to change. This is not going to be my life plan anymore. And I started being a volunteer. And it wasn't easy, and I want to make sure that, because sometimes we see people in organizations like, they're accustomed to this. This is people who are like very hardworking, and maybe they understand this kind of situation because they're closer to this kind of life. But it isn't true, and I can actually tell because of my life, right? And it was very hard for me, especially for the whole year. My first year, it was very, very hard. But now, I'm actually very happy to see that there's more people who change things. When I go to a private school, and there's a lot, believe me, there's a lot of people from companies who will say to me, kids from a private school will never do that, will never go over there. And my answer is like, there's a director in this organization who was from a private school. So that's my example of saying we can change the thing. And you can actually be do something very different and actually change the world, because poverty is one of the worst problems. I was listening to this conference that are amazing. I think these people is unbelievable. But they're talking about the lack of water. They're talking about the lack of education. They're talking about the lack of opportunity, and everything has to do with poverty. Everything has to do with human rights. So I think if we actually work together, if someone of you is, my topic is water. Maybe some of you will say, I'm very good raising money. Other, maybe I'm really good with kids, and we just get involved in a big group. Believe me, we can change the world. So thank you very much for your attention.